Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in a creative mixed media art journal, a traveler's notebook size, following the words and wisdom of Mark Twain in his book, Following the Equator. Sit down, enjoy, and let's see where we go. Good morning. Good morning. We are on day, I don't know, 17. And this chapter, he's in Adelaide still, but all he talks about are the botanical gardens, boomerangs, and wheats and dingo dogs. So, I'm thinking, did I get a dingo dog picture? No. Just a kangaroo and a koala bear. But I don't know what I'm going to do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do know what I'm going to do. This is a botanical garden. If I take off this part. And these are botanical prints out of Daphne's diary. Yep. And I think I'm just going to display them around. And I want to, there's white space up here, which is good. Now this is double-sided. I wonder if I can take this off. Because I really want this right here. There's something on the back of it which I kind of like. Ooh. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. I'm going to glue this down. Or tape it down. So, it's really quiet here. Bella went home yesterday. It's Monday for me. I always film. Okay, I do know what I'm going to do also. I have some new subscribers. And I'm just going to kind of give you a rehash of who I am. And why I do this every day. Because all I'm doing is adding botanicals for my botanical garden and boomerangs for my border. And that doesn't need a lot of explanation. But I might require some explanation. As in, I might, me. I live in South Carolina. My name is Beth. I live in South Carolina. I've been doing this. I started out as a scrapbooker on 12x12 formats. And I've been lucky enough to travel. So I have quite a few trips documented pretty darn well. I have about 25 scrapbooks. And I found that the last few trips we did, I was getting really bored. I think the last one I documented in a 12x12 format was a tulip tour in Amsterdam in Holland. And about that time, I had started putting mixed media, my version of mixed media, into it a little tiny bit. And was like, at the end of it, I was like, I don't know how many more of these I can do. Plus, I was running out of room. I live in a pretty small house. And I was out of room. So, about that time, I discovered traveler's notebooks. And I went hog wild. And when I travel, I tend to pick up way too much ephemera. Even before I knew what ephemera was, I picked up way too much. And I had been to Israel on a trip and had a ton of stuff left over. So I did an Israel traveler's notebook as practice and getting my feet wet and all that. Then I decided, because I had a ton of ephemera from trips to New York, which is one of my favorite places, to do a New York one with some of leftover bits and bobs that I had collected along the way. And then I think we had a trip planned somewhere. We've done quite a few, 5 or 6 trips, riverboat trips in Europe. I think we did a Rhine one about that time, so I documented it all on Traveler's Notebook. And I can't remember, I think some of them used to be up here, our trips, but I took some things down because I had issues with some viewers. So I stopped and I took those things down. I think we're in that group that I took down. Anyhow. And then I really got into just everything. I fell hook, line, and sinker. And I really, really, really got inspired again with the 4x8 format of a traveler's notebook, because it was small and I felt like I could handle that size. And it was easier to put places. I was running out of room for all these scrapbooks and things. And I just fell in love with the size. So, and I like making videos on YouTube. I'm obviously not making them for profit or whatever, because I've been doing it for several years. And anybody that's been doing them for several years knows you're not supposed to do a video every day. But I do, because this is part of my process. I love editing. I love meeting people from around the world. I just think it's kind of cool. Scissors. And then about that time, we did a trip along the Danube, and that was documented in a traveler's notebook. We did Ireland. That was documented in a traveler's notebook. That's on here. I love Halloween, so I love doing Halloween stuff. I've gotten somebody, Corty, I think it was you that got me hooked on December Daily. I've done December Daily a couple times. And I will do other formats. I love an altered book. I love a junk journal. I think I'm going to cut these off, actually. I love supplies as much as I love any of it. True confession. So, what else? I grew up in California, so and we went camping as a kid. I have been fortunate enough to travel in Europe as an adult a lot, quite a bit. I'm basically a gypsy. I'll go anywhere. Have suitcase, will travel. Not right now. Last year, in 2019, yeah, 2019, both of my parents died 6 weeks apart, which was rough, but in hindsight, kind of the best thing they could have done for us, to do it all at the same time. And from that, that's not even the reason. Anyhow, we decided, after we owned their house, my husband and I did, as an investment. And when that sold, we bought a beach house. So I live on a lake and I have a beach house, so I feel very attached to the water and fortunate enough to live by the water. And I grew up close to San Francisco, just across the Golden Gate Bridge, so I've always had water close by, and I'm attached to water. Just like being able to wake up and walk out and look at it, if it's a beach or a lake or whatever. And the animals that brings along, we have osprey here, lots of them, and a big nest in our cove. We have herons in our cove. Beavers on occasion. Last year we had a lot of beaver issues. I even did a beaver traveler's notebook and filmed him in the mornings. Caught him on camera quite a few times going past our boat to the neighbor's yard. This year the beaver seems to be across the cove, so I have not seen him even. I think I heard his tail flap against the water the other morning, but I couldn't swear to that, and I have not seen him. I've seen evidence of him, but not on this side, which they're very destructive. And they don't make beaver dams here. They burrow in the side of the hills, the banks, on property that's steep, which we're on a hill. We're steep. This is a man-made lake for electrical purposes, and so where there were hills, there's now big coves, and we live on a big cove, and the beaver burrows in holes along the cove, little caves that he makes. They don't make beaver dams here because this is a deep lake. And let's see. My favorite, I'm also a quilter. My heart is fiber, paper or fabric. Really, really, really love fiber. And I'm married. I have a granddaughter who spends just about every weekend with us. So you probably hear me talk about her. She loves the water also. Her mom is a single mom with lots of advantages and some of the disadvantages that does entail. So we take her on the weekends as a way for her to enjoy the water and give her mom a break. Very long subject. And I love supplies. I have a spare bedroom in our house that has been turned into a craft room. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just going to do this. First of all, let's put our date on here. Day 17. I have a little dog who I talk about probably too much. He is 16 and very sick at the moment. Well, he always will be. He's got pretty bad health issues, and we are waiting them out with some medicine to control blood pressure, and kind of just letting him ride it out. Not all of these might go on here, actually. Ooh, I kind of like that. That'll leave me a little bit of room for journaling. I am I think the right word is intuitive in what I do. I don't plan these videos at all. I prefer not to, because I like the spur of the moment in the paper to do the designing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's why in my descriptions, when I say, oh, I love this one, I'm not being conceited. The paper kind of just told me what to do. I don't tell the paper what to do. I prefer not to. I love Halloween. And the main reason I do these channels is to just come across other people with the same kind of interests and meet them from all over the world. And I think that's a cool side effect of YouTube. There's a lot of effects that aren't so cool, but I think meeting people, and I never would have known what a traveler's notebook was if it wasn't for the internet. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Botanical gardens. We'll save these for something else. And I forget what I'm talking about quite a bit. I don't finish sentences quite a bit, and I lose everything all the time. So that's me in a nutshell as a journaler. I love paper. I love scraps of paper. I love books. I love altered books. Okay. I think I'm gonna stain this. I love jelly plates. My favorite art supplies. Well, my favorite art supply people, Amy Tangerine. I just love her script. I love her personality. I love her. I'm getting more and more into Diane Reevely and Dina Wakley. With reservations, because I like the fact that Amy Tangerine has really done this all on her own as an independent person. I know she has American Crafts behind her, but she's done a lot of it herself, and she's made herself a, you know, I can't talk and write at the same time. Luscious plants and fauna from around the world. Just recently I've gotten into, obviously, very recently, Nick Bantog, and what's that word I made? Oh yeah. Tim Holtz I like for some of the colors in his stamps and things like that. And then Jose Naranja I found on Instagram or maybe YouTube. And he is a Spanish journaler that is just amazing. His love of maps and but he's very, very organized, and I am not at all. I talk about this a lot. The difference between us is crazy. And why I like him when he's so different than me. It's bizarre, but it is what it is. I think another favorite art supply is a Stabilo Woody. No, Stabilo All. I like Neo Color 2s. I love Prima paints. I love washi tape. Yeah, washi tape. Lots of washi tape. That's pretty much. I'm going to try to draw some boomerangs for a border. I'm not talented in my art. I just like doing it. I don't teach and I don't sell. That's a big mantra. I might recommend something if I like it. And I'm sure not going to teach you anything because I usually do everything wrong. And it's always by hook or by crook. Never correct. I like watercolors. I have taken a couple watercolor classes before pandemic. I was doing a Tuesday class at an adult education thing. And I got the kibosh put on it. 4x8. Well, that's because that's this size. And sometimes I veer off, so that's where the paper stuff came in. 4x8 paper stuff. So that's kind of me. These kind of look like boomerangs with some indigenous tribe designs on them. Not really. They need to be more of a V, don't they? Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. See, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I love Australian fabric a lot. I love bright colors. These natural tones that have shown up a lot in this book are not my normal go-to. I'm usually very, very bright colored and lots of it and lots of stuff. But boomerangs, and wheats. Have you heard of a wheat? Some kind of throwing thing. You talked about the dingo dogs, a sentence. Flora, fauna, dingo dogs, boomerangs, and wheats. Botanical gardens. I'm easily influenced on Instagram or YouTube. Oh, I must have that art supply. Which wouldn't be so bad, except that it's so easy to get stuff on Amazon. And when you're stuck in a pandemic, yikes. I love used books. In fact, I'm paring some of mine down. I'm taking out the images and getting rid of the book because I have an overabundance. I love foreign text. I love foreign newspapers. But right now we've been in places that speak English. So there. That's me. And this is day 17. Which I think is chapter 19 in the book or something. I don't know how we got kind of whopper-jawed. But we did. And we didn't really Ho-Joni it. Holtz, Jose, and Nick. We just kind of collaged. I'm really veering into collage. Quite a bit. Unapologetically, too. It is what it is. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow in Adelaide, still.